All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back updates and information as to the earth. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to all your notification buttons so that whenever our news drop, you will be the first. We'll collect them. The youth president of Ohaneze Ndigbo have praised Nnamdi Kanu for educating Justice Bintanyako, lawyer Awomolo, on rudiments of Nigerian law. Welcome back. I say shout out to all of us of freedom all over the world, those in the diaspora, in the Biafra land, in Nigeria, in Togo, in Kenya, wherever you find yourself, in Britain, London, America, Canada. I say shout out to all of you. I say I celebrate Una because without Una, this channel no good the game man. Meanwhile, let's go down to the full detail of the information as it is hot for the Obodo. Alright, Ibayaka alleged that the presiding judge, Justice Bintanyako, is under the influence of the federal government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The Apex Pan-Igbo Social-Cultural Youth Organization, Ohaneze Youth Council, OYC, has extolled the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, for educating Justice Bintanyako and the Council for the Nigerian government, Mr. Solomon Adegboyeya Awomolo, son, on the rudiments of law concerning his trial. Speaking to newsmen after a federal high court in Abuja denied Kanu bail on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. The National President General of OYC, Comrade Ibayaka alleged that the presiding judge, Justice Bintanyako, is under the influence of the federal government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The facial expression of Justice Bintanyako in the courtroom when Nnamdi Kanu lambasted and educated her and Mr. Solomon Adeboyaya Awomo on the fundamental rules of law show that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has given negative instruction to Justice Bintanyako over the court case of Nnamdi Kanu, he said. Ibayaka recounted that the Supreme Court was silent on granting bail to Kanu, but was very vocal in condemning Operation Python Dance of the federal government in 2017 that claimed the lives of over 200 civilians. He recalled that the Apex Court also condemned the abduction of Kanu in Kenya and noted that the IPOB didn't jump bail but fled Nigeria due to the attack by the military. It's unfortunate that Bintanyako is not making any references to the judge of the Supreme Court, but believing and declaring that Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail contrary to the regular provision of the Supreme Court judgment. It's obvious that Justice Bintanyako relied on the teleguided script of the federal government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to decide the bail application of Nnamdi Kanu filed by the lead counsel, Barrister Aloy Ejimako. Ibayaka stated. Ibayaka commended Kanu's braveness and doggedness in court for educating Justice Nyako and Awolomo, stating that the provision of Section 2, Subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Provision Act of Federal Republic of Nigeria implies that attempting to try Nnamdi Kanu by federal government is purely committing act of terrorism. According to him, it's clear that Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya by the government in collaboration with the Kenyan government, thereby breaching international and local laws. He said that means that Kanu cannot be tried in any court of competent jurisdiction in Nigeria. He said the way Nnamdi Kanu was abducted, smuggled to Nigeria, there was no window of law to commence trial for such trial by Justice Bintanyako will lead to legal somersault of Nigeria to the diplomat treaty they signed with Kenya. This is why Justice Bintanyako has been instructed by President Bola Tinubu to keep delaying Nnamdi Kanu's court case. The same delayed tactics employed by President Muhammadu Buhari But this delay is more dangerous to the existence of Nigeria than the fear they have about Nnamdi Kanu. It's obvious that Kanu's abduction in Kenya is similar to abduction of Umaru Dikko in Britain on July 5, 1984, but the British government foiled that illegal arrest on the 16th of July, citing the breach of diplomatic law and stopped the move to bring Alhaji Umaru Dikko back to Nigeria. It's therefore regrettable and a demonstration of illegality and mockery to international law that even British government and Kenyan government convened and abducted Kanu because he is an Igbo man. This is the empirical evidence that to be an Igbo man in Nigeria is a very Herculean task and a life-threatening task that to use legs to cross Atlantic Ocean. Ibayaka urged President Tinubu to know that the stretching Kanu's case further may turn Nigeria to another Haiti. He said it's therefore necessary for the federal government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to discontinue the executive rascality and impunity of former President Muhammadu Buhari and speedily grant a political solution to Nnamdi Kanu's case and grant him unconditional release as a viable means to national restoration and peace and stability in Nigeria. My people, I don't see as it dey happen for that particular matter. It don't surely, get as it be where it never be before. This one is coming direct from the president of Ohaneze Youth Council, Ibayaka, who has addressed the situation that is currently going on in Ndigbo and Nigeria in general, whereby the government have refused to follow the due process on carrying out the judgment and court proceedings as regards to Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Ibayaka is the leader of the OYC, and he has commended Nnamdi Kanu for setting rules for the court and also making the people to know what they are supposed to do. Meanwhile, it's good to be truthful. I think I'm looking at how the OYC, how vibrant OIC has been. Maybe should I say it is what is called youth vibrancy? Should I call it youth vibrancy? Because I think Ibayaka is somehow more outspoken than the Ohaneze Ndigbo, the big table, the general big table. Because for a long time you will find out that Ohaneze Ndigbo, the big table, has been painting a lot of things. It's more like they are doing painting. There is what is called pentipent to that particular case that is going on. Instead of going direct to the president and saying, "Oh, Mr. President, this is what has happened, and this is what has happened, and this is what you need to do. This is how you are supposed to do this thing. Move ahead, release our brother, and let our brother go." But you find out that the leader of Ohaneze Ndigbo have failed, to follow the due process, to do what they are supposed to do as the leaders, because every time you see this post of Ohaneze are making plans to make sure that their brother is out of the DSS detention, and one will be asking, what is actually the plans that Ohaneze is making? Because these plans has not been tabled to the people, and we have not seen any time that Ohaneze has gone to the president direct. I believe that Ohaneze have the capacity of meeting the president in person. It is not about, because their capacity as the president of Ohaneze Ndigbo, this is a man who represents all the Igbo people. So if he is the man, the president, I believe that he has that capacity. If he send the president a letter or a mail that he would like to, have a talk with him, and what the president will do is to schedule him on a date with his cabinet or with his crew members or with the other ESCOs, and there will be a liaison, and the talk will be made open, and everybody will understand that these people actually is liaising so that their brother will be free. At least it should be televised. It should be shown. Let the people see their effort, the effort they are making. Because you cannot be for a long time now, close to 3 years plus, they have been making effort. They have been making effort. Effort. What is the fruit of this your effort? No be church or church as some of my people go talk. They say show working. These leaders of ours, of Ndigbo, are supposed to show working, so that the people will actually see, okay, this is what they are working, this is their job, this is how they have been doing things, and the rest of them. Meanwhile, ịmarala na the country where we dey be say onye kwu eziokwu asị ma gịnị sị kpọrọ ya ka egbue. But nke onye na-emedili ya, onye mee nke dị mma, nke dị mma ga-abịakwala na ya, onye mekwanụ nke dị njọ ga-eme gịnị ga-abịakwala n'anya bụ onye. Mụrụ sị na anyị bụ ndị Igbo, anyị ga-adị ise. Meanwhile, you get kepu where they move round recently about the remembrance of the Igbo Day, which is supposed to be on the 30th of May, which a lot of people, the government of most of the southeastern states have kicked against. Enugu kicked against it, Anambra kicked against it, other states kicked against it. That 30th of May, that is meant to be the day of the remembrance of fallen heroes in Igbo. Remembrance of fallen heroes in Igbo, which is supposed to be that May 30th. But a lot of Southeast governors are saying that over their dead body, that particular thing is not going to hold. That whosoever is planning it is risking him or herself. Meanwhile, let's look at what the IPOB members are saying concerning that particular matter. Biafra Remembrance Day, IPOB declares May 30th sit-at-home day, warns Nnamdi Azikiwe University WAEC to reschedule convocation exam. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has warned the management of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Unizik in Anambra State against holding its convocation ceremony on May 30th. The day has been selected by the group for its Biafra Remembrance Day to honor Nigerians of Southeast extraction killed during the 1967 to 1970 Civil War. IPOB is in an open letter addressed to the Vice Chancellor of Unizik and the management of the West African Examination Council on Tuesday by its Media and Publicity Secretary, Imam Powerful, also warned the management of the examination body against holding its examination on May 30th across the Southeast states. Declaring May 30th a sit-at-home day across the region, IPOB warned Unizik and WAEC not to endanger people's lives by disobeying its order, stressing that Unizik and WAEC should reschedule their convocation and examination to a new date because 30th of May is the Biafra Heroes Day and a sit-at-home for all Biafrans in the Biafra land. IPOB said, if you consider yourself a Biafra, you ought to know that 30th of May is a Biafra Heroes Day. Nevertheless, we are reminding you and the university management and WAEC board that May 30th of every year is a sacred day set out as outside to honor Biafra heroes and heroines who pay the ultimate price and sacrifice for the survival of Biafrans. That day remains sacred and a day that Biafrans sit at home to remember and honor their heroes who fell during the Nigeria genocidal war against Biafrans between 1967 to 1970. Until the present day, the killing has not stopped. No public event is expected to take place in Biafra land on this day. Biafra Heroes Day is a public holiday and a sit-at-home in Biafra land for Biafrans in honor of the fallen heroes and heroines All markets, schools, banks, government, private offices are expected to be under lock and key. Movement of persons and vehicles are not allowed except those on essential or emergency services such as health workers, ambulances, fire service, police station, and hospitals. West African Examination WAEC Board should not endanger the lives of small children because that day is not safe for any individual in Biafra territory. It is a day everybody stays indoor for those who pay the ultimate price for us to live. And they must reschedule the day to another day. 30th of May is a Biafra Remembrance Day. If anything happens to these children they want to bring out that day, they will regret doing so. By the open letter, IPOB is calling on the Vice Chancellor of the management of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, and any other people or group that scheduled any program for 30th May 2024 to postpone their program. Biafra Heroes Day takes precedence over any program in Biafra land on that day. However, if the Vice Chancellor and the management of UNIZIK insist on having their convocation on 30th of May 2024 in disregard of Biafra fallen heroes and heroines, they have decided to spit on the grave of Biafra heroes and heroines and should be ready to take responsibility for whatever happens afterwards. IPOB will not enforce the 30th of May sit at home, but will also not take responsibility for whatever happens to the violators.